Hey everyone, welcome to PhotographyVerse podcast. Alright, so here we are back again for another episode this week. This week I am answering your questions. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions, and here they are. You will get to know me a little bit better, and we will dive in to the surface of the photography industry. So you guys want to know a bit about my backstory, about who I am. So my name is Karina Joseph. I just graduated from my Bachelor of Communication and Media Studies at Carleton University. I'm almost 22 years old. I'm super excited. There's going to be an episode dropping on my birthday since it's a Wednesday this year. So I'm super excited for that. I am forever grateful to have the opportunity to talk to you guys. A big thank you to everyone that tuned in for the first episode. You guys are the real MVP. I wouldn't be here without you, so a big thank you for keeping my dreams alive. So basically, I was born in Ottawa, raised in Montreal, and now I'm currently living in Sherbrooke. I am transitioning into doing photography full-time. I'm also an independent consultant and executive district manager with Arbonne, two businesses that I love because I love helping people and I love expressing myself through art, and with Arbonne I can help people. So I graduated from Carleton University. I've lived in Ottawa, I lived in Montreal on the North Shore, and now I'm living in Sherbrooke. It's a new market for me. It's very exciting. I don't know many people, so I'm really starting a whole new adventure, and you guys are coming on the journey with me. So some random facts is that I'm a Gemini. I played varsity hockey. My dad's from Haiti and my mom's from Egypt, so a big shout out to them just for always raising me in a multicultural background and for allowing me the chance to travel and to see new cultures. And I really do have a passion for traveling, and I think that's where my passion from photography started, because ever since I was young I always had like a camcorder, you know, the old ones with the cassettes. That's what I used. That's how I started photography. I always wanted to take pictures of new things, to videotape everything. I even have a picture of me I think it's in 2005, so I was like 6, with a camcorder in my hands in Italy, and the camcorder is basically as big as my head. It's crazy, but absolutely love it. So I would say that that's how I really got into photography. It's just that ever since I was young, I was always the creative one in the family. I have a twin sister. So when we look back at paintings that we did when we were obviously the same age, we did it at the same time, you could see that hers were basically just like blobs of color and basically all turned brown, and mine there was a little something going on. But you know, as a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, your paintings aren't exquisite. I'm not saying I'm the next Picasso or anything, but just that you could always see that there was something artistic about me. And I'm just looking at my notes because I really want to make sure that I'm giving you guys information that you asked for. So I just always wanted to explore stuff, and I always used art to express how I was feeling. So yeah, another question that I got from you guys were, who were my influences for photography? When I was growing up, I didn't know any photographers around me. I didn't know any specific styles. And now I have to say that I absolutely adore Peter McKinnon for his work. Plus he's Canadian, so a big shout out to him. I do have some friends that I know in the photography industry, like Jonathan Coudreau. I love his work, especially the warm tones that he has in his pictures. Kerbins Boisette, the real Kerbins, love his portraits. Will Carey Ovo on Instagram was taking me under his wing. He's always available when I ask him questions, so I really appreciate that. And they all have a different style, and together combined it's just where I get my inspiration for certain things. I actually got this question really often. How do I pose my models? What is my workflow? Well, I kind of broke it down for you guys. So for me, I love it when pictures look natural, not staged. I really love candid shots, you know, that are really authentic, that are in the moment. And capturing movement really helps because you put your subject at ease. So when you're putting your subject at ease and they're moving, they're walking, they're looking left, they're looking right, you're getting these natural shots. And this is what people love when it comes to portraits. And I also love using leading lines, having a shallow depth of field. I just love a good bouquet. I'm a sucker for a good bouquet. What can I say? Hey, that rhymes. But basically, when I'm working with a client, I always make sure to hop on a phone call, understand like their needs, what exactly are they looking for. I think that's the most important thing. Most important thing is really understanding what your clients want and what your clients need. That way you know what to deliver. Having that initial phone call is definitely a step that you cannot miss. This is, like for me, this is a must, is always getting on the phone with my clients, because things can get lost in translation, like via text messaging and stuff. So always get on the phone with the clients. It also gives you a good sense of their energy, what it's like, what it would be like working with them. So that's really cool. Obviously, I have to understand what platform the pictures are going to be used for, because if they're going to be used for social media versus like a website banner, it'll have an impact on how you frame your shots. So that's really, really important, especially when you're working with when doing commercial contracts. I like asking for feedback during the shoot. How's the model feeling? Does the business owner have any input? I know a lot of people are really closed off to ideas during the shoot because they're like, okay, well, I'm the photographer, this is my vision. But when it comes to me, I really like having input from other people, because I'm like, well, this is your business, you're paying me. Maybe you want a certain picture, like, like having a shot list is great, but also just knowing like, okay, well, you want something like this, you want to have all the products on the left side, that way the right side you can have it free for like the banner. Just getting some feedback during the shoot is very important, especially when you're working with people who have never like taken pictures before, like certain couples are doing like engagement shoots and they have no idea. But sometimes a certain person was like, oh, I saw this on Pinterest, can we do something like this? I'm like, yo, yeah, absolutely, like let's do it. Like, why would a photographer say no, right? Another question I got is, why do I shoot with females over male models? Honestly, there's no particular reason. I don't know if it's because females mostly gravitate towards me, since I identify as a gender fluid female. I don't know. If you're a male and you want to work together, definitely hit me up. Absolutely, like I work with whoever, so regardless of your identity, I am definitely open to working with you. Absolutely no judgment here. Also, a question I got was the thoughts of the creative industry as a whole. Where is it headed? What should people be looking out for? And is it oversaturated? No, the market is not oversaturated. It is the internet. People are allowed to call themselves content creators. But the market is not oversaturated, because if it's oversaturated, you know what that means? That means that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that call them professional photographers, but that aren't really professional. And when it comes to services, people are going to be paying for quality. So no, don't compare yourself to someone that's just starting out, that's a beginner. Whether you're beginner, intermediate, advanced, you're expert, the market will never be oversaturated, because you're going to niche down. You have to niche down and find your niche, and that is a really difficult thing. Something that I personally am still working on, even after years of having my photography business. So no, the market is not oversaturated. I think it's heading in a great direction, where photographers are now stopping to compete with each other and starting to support one another. So I think that's really important, and that's where I see the market heading. Also, tips on running your own freelance business. Now this is a good one. Alright, so tips on running your own freelance business. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. It is difficult. I started my photography business when I was still in school, and I was working part-time. So I was working about 20 hours a week. I was in school, full course load, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to start my own photography business. But it's difficult, it's some long hours, but you know what? When you put in the work, it pays off. When you see how good your portfolio is getting, it really pays off. It's really, really rewarding. So it's time consuming, but if you really want to make it work and you're dedicated to make it work, you have to establish a list of priorities. Cut on your Netflix. Cut on the time that you're scrolling through social media, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, Pinterest, you name it, cut it. Clubhouse, cut it. cut it. If it's not serving you, if it's not helping you grow, if it's not getting you clients, if it's not helping your personal development, if it's not bringing in some money, some income, cut it. Focus on what works. Focus on putting in the time to get the results. And this is called delayed gratification. And you're probably going to hear me say this a lot over the course of the podcast. But delayed gratification is something that I don't know why. I'm going to say Gen Z and millennials don't seem to quite get it. They seem to always be in a rush. They want everything now. They want their participation ribbons. They want. But they forget that they have to give. You have to provide value and you have to put in the work. If you want to lose weight, you can't just say, okay, I want to lose weight without changing your eating habits, changing your sleeping habits, working out. When you want to lose weight, you put in the time, you put in the effort to get the results. It's the same thing on your business, okay? So being a freelance photographer or being just a self-employed is not for everyone. Not everyone is willing to make those sacrifices. When you see your friends this summer at the beach, are you going to be at the beach with them or going to be working on your business? Or maybe even taking pictures of someone at that beach, you know? You really have to question yourself. Because if you're not willing to make the sacrifices now, you're not going to be willing to make them in 5 years when your business is really taken off, okay? Keep that in mind. Delayed gratification, delayed gratification, delayed gratification. Also, you do not have to sleep 2-3 hours a night. Sleep is important. Okay? You have to learn how to maximize the time that you're awake. If you need to get 8 hours of sleep, fine. That means there's 16 hours left in the day. You're not going to make me believe that you're working for all of those 16 hours. Okay? Because you're going to be going to the washroom, doing your personal hygiene routine. You're going to be eating, cooking, taking your dog for a walk, spending time with your family, and you're going to be scrolling on your phone. How much time are you spending on social media? I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. How much time are you spending on your phone, spending on social media a day? Some people spend average 2-3 hours of their day on social media consuming content. That is way, way, way too much. Cut that Netflix episode, cut your 1 hour scrolling on Instagram before bed, and take that time and put it on your business. So yes, okay, running a freelance business is hard, but my tips are to be organized, know what you're doing, have a clear vision, stick to your why. Why are you doing this? And fifth thing is to have fun. Stop focusing on the money, stop focusing on the numbers. Who the F cares how many Instagram followers you have? Like, seriously. If you have 1,000, 2,000, 100 followers, who cares? Seriously. Do you care how many Instagram followers you have? And if you answered yes, I'm giving you a little homework, just a little thing. Why do you care so much? What is this number doing for you? Is it bringing in contracts? Is it paying clients? Is it paying for your equipment? Are you learning anything? Question yourself. Why do you care about the number of followers, the number of likes, of comments, of shares, of saves, of views? Why do you care? Another thing that people wanted to know is what is one of the biggest mistakes I've made and that people should avoid. It's not a mistake that I've made, but something that one of my mentors told me years and years ago, like about 7 years ago. When you're going to a contract, test out your equipment the night before. Make sure everything works, that way you don't have surprise when you show up on set. Don't have a surprise when you show up on set. Bring extra batteries. Even if you have pro batteries that are supposed to last the entire day, bring extra batteries. Like, that's a given. Memory cards. Bring them. You don't know what's going to happen. When it comes to lighting, know where you're going first. Know where you're going. Know what you have to bring for your lighting. Do you have to bring a reflector? That's going to be very important. Do you need a microphone, or are you going to be filming stuff? You know? Just when it comes to photography, one of the things that I've learned is to definitely never assume anything. Don't assume that the 2 memory cards that you have in your camera, that they're backing up automatically. Do not assume that you're not going to run out of space. Bring extra memory cards even if you have 5,000 photos available. Because maybe one is going to decide that it's no longer writing. Maybe one is going to decide that, oh, I'm overheating, I'm done for the day. Bring an extra battery. If you're shooting in the cold and it's winter, that battery is going to drain a lot quicker. So bring extra batteries for sure. I got 2 other questions, so just bear with me here. If you stayed this far, thank you very much. You're definitely one of the real ones. So another question I got a lot about taxes, because it's tax season. People want to know, what are good tax write-offs for photographers? I can't tell you what's a good and what's a bad tax write-off, but I can give you a couple of examples. So your gear is a tax write-off. Your business insurance or your health insurance, tax write-off. Your mileage, your gas, your car maintenance, write-off. Your rent or your mortgage is like a certain percentage that you use for your business is a tax write-off. Your utilities, your phone, your internet. What else can I tell you? Your meals on the road, your accommodations, all of that stuff. Anything that you need for your business can become a tax write-off. So keep that in mind as you're filing your taxes and that you're going throughout the year. Keep track of your expenses. Super, 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 super important. Another thing that comes to mind is any business education. Are you buying courses? Are you taking workshops? That also becomes a write-off. Okay, so I've gotten this question quite a lot. A lot of you guys wanted to know what I had in store in 2021, or more what 2021 had in store for me. That's a very good question. As I moved to Sherbrooke, I am working on conquering a new market, getting to know some people in the area, making some new friends. 2021 is the year that I decided to take for myself, really to prioritize my mental health, to do as many photography contracts as I humanly can, just to really just be out there and have fun. And I want to work with more businesses, more small businesses, more up and coming businesses. I love working with startups because usually it's like I get carte blanche to do whatever I want to do. So yeah, 2021 has in store for me is doing photography full time as of now. And I'm really just looking to make some new connections, whether it's with clients or just with humans in general. COVID has really put a damper on that. But you know what? I'm not letting it bring me down. I'm doing a lot of personal development. So really 2021 has in store for me. It's growing my business, photography, and also growing my Arbonne business. But definitely photography wise, I really want to work with some businesses in the Sherbrooke area. I also work in Montreal and Ottawa, but I already have a pretty good network in both of those cities as I lived in them. So here I am, starting fresh, starting new in Sherbrooke, and I just couldn't be more excited. It's really going to be a great year. So if ever you need any pictures or you have some references to give me, definitely send me a message on Instagram at Korina_Joseph. That's Korina_Joseph. Or you can find me on Instagram at that username, on Twitter at that username, Clubhouse at that username. YouTube is Korina Joseph. Facebook is Korina Joseph. You can also send me an email, Korina@KorinaJoseph.com. Yes, these are some selfless promo plugs, but you know what? It is important because I want to get in touch with you guys. I want to communicate with you guys. I want to do some Q&As. I want to have some guests on my podcast. So if you're listening and you want to be on my podcast, whether you work in personal development, whether you're a business coach, whether you are, let's say, I don't know, you have your own startup, you have your own company, you want to give people some tips on how to build a business, how to change their mindset, how to get clients, whatever you want to do. I am looking to collaborate with you guys. I want to give you guys a voice. So definitely don't be afraid to get in touch with me. And together, I'm telling you, we are going to rise to the top, okay? You and me. You take the time to listen to my podcast every week, and I'm telling you, you're going to see a difference in your business. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Every Wednesday I am dropping a podcast and you definitely do not want to miss it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow along as we start this brand new adventure together. This is the PhotographyVerse podcast.